Hello, my name is Jennifer Hiraoka, Senior Manager, Internal Controls. Today I'm here to present an update on the Financial Corrective Action Plan, or FCAP, for closing past audit findings. Recommendation that the Finance and Governance Committee receive the update on the Financial Corrective Action Plan for closing past audit findings and recommend staff forward the presentation to City Council. Today's agenda is to provide an update on the status of the Financial Corrective Action Plan and to update you on the progress the City continues to make towards strengthening and maintaining our internal controls. The last Financial Corrective Action Plan update was provided earlier this year in April to the Finance and Governance Committee and in May to City Council. Since our last update, the City departments with open audit findings have continued to make progress in implementing corrective actions to remediate the findings identified during the City's fiscal year 23-24 single audit. Just in case you needed to refresh your memory, here's the slide that details the Corrective Action Plan status definitions. Today, the definitions that are most relevant are in progress and to be tested. As mentioned earlier, the City's fiscal year 23-24 single audit identified 4 new compliance findings for accounting and financial management, 2 findings that are significant deficiencies in internal control over major federal programs, and 2 findings related to non-compliance with grant requirements, bringing the City's total number of findings since 2015 to 190, or 163 unique findings. There were no material weaknesses for the 5th year in a row. During the April 2025 FCAP update, the corrective actions for the 2 new significant deficiency findings had not started, while the corrective actions for the 2 non-compliance matters were in progress. Corrective actions for all 4 new findings were planned to be completed by June 30th, 2025. Corrective actions for the prior outstanding significant deficiency remained in progress, bringing the total unresolved findings to 5. This slide summarizes the 4 findings that were identified during the fiscal year 24 single audit and the status of their corrective actions. 2 significant deficiencies were identified related to the Housing Department's compliance with Community Development Block Grants or Entitlement Grants, otherwise known as CDBG group requirements. 1. Lack appropriate controls over program income, and 2. Lack of appropriate controls over grant reporting. The corrective action plan status for these findings has changed from not started to in progress. 2 findings of non-compliance were identified related to the fire department's compliance with staffing for adequate fire and emergency response grants, or the SAFER grant requirements. 1. Delays in grant reporting, and 2. Instances of lack of supervisor timesheet approval. The corrective action plan status for these findings has changed from in progress to ready to be tested. And finally, the 1 prior outstanding significant deficiency finding is the Information Technology General Controls finding, for which updates continue to be provided to City Council via separate confidential reports due to the sensitive nature of the information. This slide summarizes the FCAP status as of November 2025 and allows for a visual representation of the corrective action progress. The corrective action status for the 2 findings on non-compliance related to staffing for adequate fire and emergency response grants, or the SAFER grants, have moved from in progress and are ready to be tested. See the blue arrow from the in progress line to the to be tested line. The corrective actions for the 2 significant deficiencies related to Community Development Block Grants, or Entitled Grants, otherwise known as the CDBG grants, are now in progress, and a revision to the planned implementation dates has been communicated to the external auditors. The revised implementation date of the new policies and procedures reflects the delay in the HUD grant awards process, which was due to a backlog resulting from the federal shutdown. See the blue arrow from the Not Started line to the In Progress line. This slide is a refresher of the finding rating definitions. Findings on this slide are depicted in order of severity, starting with the most severe rating, material weakness, at the top, and the least severe, best practice, at the bottom. The City of Oxnard's outstanding 5 findings are 3 significant deficiencies and 2 noncompliance. This slide emphasizes the positive progress the City has made in managing audit findings. Since 2015, the City has had a total of 190 audit findings, of which 163 were unique, non-repeat findings. The CAP status as of December 2025 is in the last column on the right-hand side of the page. The column is orange because only 3 significant deficiencies remain outstanding, and black because 2 non-compliance findings remain outstanding. There are no material weaknesses and no best practices remaining, which would be indicated by red or blue respectively. The takeaway from this slide is that the City has made substantial progress within the last 6 years and only has 5 unresolved findings. Here's what's to come related to the FCAP. MGO to test the corrective action implementations for the 2 findings of noncompliance related to the SAFER grant. And the Housing Department has provided revised corrective action implementation updates and has committed to completion of their respective corrective action plan implementation by June 30th, 2026. Again, the June 30th, 2026 revised implementation date is a result of the federal shutdown. The next FCAP update will be in early 2026, after the City's single audit is complete. That concludes the presentation. Thank you.